The story begins with a wealthy but alcoholic man named Dae-soo. He's already had quite a bit to drink, leading to his arrest. At the police station, Dae-soo becomes belligerent and even resorts to violence against the officers. Fortunately, his friend arrives just in time, apologizing profusely to the police and managing to bail Dae-soo out. As they leave the police station, Dae-soo uses a public phone to call home. His young daughter answers, and he promises her, "My sweet daughter, I'll be home early today and bring you lots and lots of pretty toys. Wait for your daddy." His friend then takes over the phone, and Dae-soo wanders off. Moments later, when his friend tries to find him, Dae-soo has vanished. Despite a frantic search, he's nowhere to be found. The scattered contents of his pockets, strewn across the sidewalk, hint at a sinister possibility. He's been kidnapped. The next scene abruptly shifts to Dae-soo confined in a stark, windowless room. He attempts to hang himself using a makeshift rope fashioned from a door handle, but his suicide attempt is thwarted. When a man arrives with his food, Dae-soo demands to know why he's imprisoned, what crime he's committed to deserve such treatment. The man remains silent, leaving Dae-soo alone in his agonizing confusion. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. Dae-soo's captors keep him imprisoned for an agonizing 15 years. The reason for his confinement remains a chilling mystery. To prevent him from going insane, they periodically pump a gas into his room, inducing a deep, almost comatose sleep. During one such slumber, they draw a small amount of blood from him. The next day, he awakens to the devastating news that his wife has been murdered. The news report claims she was killed while he was asleep, a cruel twist of fate that adds another layer to his torment. While Dae-soo is plagued by guilt and the suspicion that he might have been responsible for his wife's death in some unknown way, his captors meticulously treat his injuries and nurse him back to health after each suicide attempt. It's a perverse cycle of despair and forced survival. Their relentless efforts to keep him alive suggest a deeper, more sinister motive behind his imprisonment. Driven by a desperate need to escape his mental prison, Dae-soo begins to chip away at the concrete wall of his room using chopsticks provided with his meals. This monotonous task becomes his lifeline, a way to mark the passage of time and cling to a sliver of hope. 15 long years pass. Dae-soo's relentless chipping finally creates a hole in the wall, offering a glimpse of the outside world. He sees the city lights, a stark reminder of the life stolen from him. Fueled by a burning desire for revenge, he vows to find the person responsible for his imprisonment and the agonizing 15 years of hell he's endured. He falls asleep, hoping to escape that night. However, when he wakes up and steps outside, the sunlight, unseen for 15 years, blinds him. As his vision slowly returns, he notices a man on the rooftop of the building, poised to jump to his death. Driven by a primal urge to connect with another human being after years of isolation, Dae-soo approaches the man, listening intently to his story of despair. He hopes his presence might offer a flicker of hope, a reason to live. But despite Dae-soo's efforts, the man jumps, ending his life. Surprisingly, instead of feeling despair, Dae-soo finds himself laughing, a hollow, unsettling laughter. He muses, "It's strange, isn't it? When we laugh, the whole world laughs with us. But when we cry alone." He soon discovers it's the year 2003, a world vastly different from the one he remembers. He's a stranger in his own time, lost and disoriented. He finds himself mesmerized by a tank of fish in a nearby restaurant. A mysterious stranger approaches him, offering him a cell phone and some money with a cryptic message. "Don't ask me anything about this. I don't know anything. I was just told to deliver this to you." Later, while sitting in a hotel room, Dae-soo receives a call on the gifted phone. The voice on the other end belongs to the man who orchestrated his 15-year imprisonment. Dae-soo demands to know why he was imprisoned, but the man deflects, instead asking, "How does it feel to be free? Live your life, and then think about who you are and what you've done." The call ends abruptly, leaving Dae-soo with more questions than answers. In the hotel, he meets a young chef named Mi-do. He finds himself drawn to her, a connection forged in the shared space of their loneliness. He confides in her, sharing his story and the torment he's endured. Driven by a desperate need to rebuild his life, Dae-soo sets out to find his daughter. He discovers she's been adopted, another cruel blow in his already shattered life. Haunted by the memory of his deceased wife and the unresolved guilt surrounding her death, he vows not to visit her grave until he finds her killer. Dae-soo embarks on a culinary journey, visiting different restaurants, searching for a specific taste, a memory from his captivity. He finally finds it, the dumplings he was fed during his imprisonment. He tracks down the source, a seemingly innocuous Chinese restaurant, and discovers a hidden, underground prison. It's a chilling realization that he wasn't alone in his suffering. He confronts the prison's manager, demanding to know who paid for his imprisonment. The manager refuses to answer, leading to a violent confrontation. Dae-soo manages to escape, but not without sustaining serious injuries. He collapses on the street, bleeding profusely. A stranger approaches and helps him. To Dae-soo's astonishment, the stranger addresses him by name. He doesn't have the strength to pursue him, and the man disappears into the crowd. Dae-soo wakes up in Mi-doo's apartment. She has nursed him back to health. She also has a collection of audio tapes, recordings of his captor's voice. The tapes reveal the captor's twisted reasoning for imprisoning Dae-soo, his incessant talking and gossiping. Dae-soo seeks out his old friend, the one he was with the night he was kidnapped. Overwhelmed with emotion, he breaks down, confessing his ordeal. His friend helps him access his old email account, where they discover that the case against Dae-soo for his wife's murder has been closed. He's officially a free man, but the weight of his past continues to haunt him. His friend advises him to look closer to home for the person responsible for his imprisonment, suggesting that the culprit might be someone he knows. Dae-soo begins to suspect Mi-doo, her seemingly selfless acts now appearing suspicious. He confronts her, demanding answers, but their confrontation is interrupted by a call from his friend. The friend has tracked down the address of Dae-soo's captor. They arrive at a luxurious penthouse, where they encounter the same man who helped Dae-soo after his escape from the prison. The man reveals his identity, Woo-jin, the brother of the girl Dae-soo saw with her brother before his imprisonment. Woo-jin explains that if Dae-soo can figure out why he was imprisoned within 5 days, he will kill himself. If not, he will kill Mi-doo. Driven by a desperate need to save Mi-doo and uncover the truth, Dae-soo delves into his past. He returns to Mi-doo's apartment, only to find her kidnapped by the prison manager and his henchmen. Woo-jin arrives and pays the manager to release Dae-soo and Mi-doo. Before leaving, he threatens Dae-soo, vowing to cut off his hand for touching Mi-doo. Dae-soo and Mi-doo flee, seeking refuge in a remote cabin. They develop a close bond, their shared trauma forging a deep connection. The next morning, they discover a box containing the prison manager's severed hand. Dae-soo realizes that Woo-jin is monitoring their every move. He discovers a tracking device hidden in his shoe, confirming his suspicions. His investigation leads him to his old high school, where he learns about a girl who committed suicide years ago. He contacts his friend, who identifies the girl as a former classmate of Dae-soo's. She was rumored to be promiscuous and had a bad reputation. Woo-jin, listening in on their conversation, is enraged by his friend's callous remarks about his sister. He confronts his friend and kills him. Dae-soo is devastated by his friend's death, blaming himself for his involvement. Fearing for Mi-doo's safety, he leaves her in the care of the prison manager, who has developed a fondness for her. He sets out alone to confront Woo-jin and uncover the truth behind his 15-year imprisonment. The pieces of the puzzle finally fall into place. Dae-soo remembers seeing the girl and her brother together before his imprisonment. He realizes that Woo-jin is the brother, seeking revenge for Dae-soo's unintentional role in his sister's suicide. Dae-soo had witnessed their incestuous relationship and unknowingly spread rumors about the girl, leading to her despair and eventual suicide. Dae-soo confronts Woo-jin, the 5 days having passed. He reveals that he knows the truth, that Woo-jin imprisoned him for spreading rumors about his sister, ultimately driving her to take her own life. Woo-jin, instead of denying it, laughs, revealing a final, devastating truth. He explains that he hypnotized both Dae-soo and Mi-do, orchestrating their relationship and manipulating their emotions. Their connection, their intimacy, was all a cruel illusion. A carefully constructed part of his revenge, Woojin directs Dae-soo to a box, urging him to open it. Inside, Dae-soo finds a photo album filled with pictures of a young girl. He recognizes himself in the photos, holding the girl, playing with her, showering her with affection. As he flips through the pages, the girl grows older, and the chilling realization dawns on him. The girl is his daughter. Woojin's ultimate revenge is to make Dae-soo fall in love with his own daughter, a horrifying violation of the natural order. The weight of this revelation crushes Dae-soo. He lashes out at Woojin in a blind rage, but Woojin's bodyguard quickly subdues him. Woojin mercilessly beats Dae-soo, taunting him with the knowledge of his incestuous relationship with Mi-do. Just as Woojin is about to deliver the final blow, he shoots his bodyguard, ending his life. He then calls the prison manager, revealing that he is about to expose the truth to Mi-do, presenting her with the same photo album that shattered Dae-soo's world. Dae-soo pleads with him, begging him to spare Mi-do the pain of this knowledge. He offers to become Woojin's slave, to do anything to protect her from the truth. Woojin, unmoved by Dae-soo's pleas, mocks his desperation. Dae-soo, realizing the only way to protect Mi-do is to silence himself forever, takes a pair of scissors and cuts out his own tongue in a gruesome act of self-mutilation. He does this to erase the very thing Woojin despised about him: his voice, his words, his ability to spread rumors. Woojin, witnessing this horrifying act, is momentarily stunned. He calls the prison manager again, urging him to stop, to not show Mi-do the photo album. He leaves, defeated, his revenge complete but hollow. Before leaving, he taunts Dae-soo one last time, suggesting that Mi-do should kill herself now that the truth is out. As Woojin is leaving, he drops a remote control. He frantically presses the button, hoping to activate a device implanted in his chest, ending his life. However, nothing happens. The remote is revealed to be a fake, a cruel trick he played on himself. His entire elaborate revenge scheme was based on a lie, a misunderstanding. Woojin, overwhelmed by the realization that his sister's suicide was not Dae-soo's fault, breaks down, sobbing uncontrollably. Having lost his purpose, his reason for living, he takes his own life. Dae-soo, now permanently silenced and burdened by the horrifying truth of his relationship with Mi-do, continues to live in agonizing silence. Mi-do, unaware of the truth, seeks him out, embracing him despite his inability to speak. He cries silently, his tears a testament to the pain he can never express. He is left with the agonizing knowledge of his actions, a burden he must carry in silence for the rest of his life. The film ends with Dae-soo seeking out a hypnotist, hoping to erase the memories of Mi-do, to free himself from the torment of their shared past. The hypnotist warns him that the experiment might fail, that he might be left with even more fragmented memories. Dae-soo, desperate for any relief, agrees to the procedure. When he wakes up, he is alone. Mi-do finds him, embracing him tightly. He cries again, but this time, it's unclear whether his tears are of pain or a genuine expression of affection.